That's the first shot at this. There is someplace else that we are looking at this particular point, but that might take some time to get up and going. And it may not even happen. It's not that I'm putting all my eggs in one basket in that library. The library is good, and only it's good for a short period of time too, because if we can expand, I'd like to expand, and I'm looking right now at a 6,000 to 7,000 foot facility. But at this particular point in time, that has not come about. And are we willing to wait some more? Now, I guess that comes down to it. How much longer are we going to be waiting for this? And if I could, Carl, with the things with the art and the rest of them, they were the ones who came to me and asked, we would like to do stuff with your youth. We want to be able to do these things with them and find ways of helping them do it. Because a lot of these programs, while a lot of youth are a part of it, they're not invited to be in some ways. And so if we can open that up, even with the theater, even with the lighting and the stuff like that, they came to me and asked me about that. It's not that I'm trying to take away. And even I was talking today with the rec center, even before our time up here, and the fact that I want to find out what they are doing in their athletics and in their programs, and so we can come in and join them or add to them what is already being offered. A lot of things are being offered, but we can offer more. And a lot of the contacts that I have, especially down in Las Vegas in athletics, we can offer more to our kids here. And it's to work with them. I'm not trying to take anything from them. That's the whole point. I'm not trying to take anything from any program. I'm trying to add to it, but add it with those kids that are not being affected. That's the point.
Mr. Lee, if I can interrupt something.
Hold on one second, Councilman. Hold on 1 second, Councilman. I'm going to go to Councilman Gus Davison quickly, then to Councilman Rapson, then Councilman Withhelder, okay?
Yeah, Dennis, let me make it real clear. I don't object to what you're doing at all. I'm just bringing up some of the things or details that probably need to be attended to.
Thank you. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
just
I
want to
just
let you know
wanted you
some
to
more
know
information.
that, you know, as far as that building, it may be very workable. I don't know, but I think that a good example of what's happened in this community was the boxing club. I've been very, very supportive of the boxing club. And the reason I have is because I think it took a lot of our at-risk children we had in this community and gave them a real goal and something to do. And their first objective when they go there isn't to learn to box, it's learn to be good citizens. And I think that you're probably want to head down that same road. So well, I think all this can be worked out. I just think that, you know,
well,
before we just say we can do it next week, we need to work through the details.
Please forgive me. Just to let you know that one of the persons who helped develop the boxing club wants to be on the board and council of this because he realized this is offering something that the boxing club couldn't offer. So it's not that I'm trying to, you know, these are things that are coming to me. I'm not going out seeking them. These are people that are coming to me and letting me know this.
Thank you, Pastor. Councilman Rapson and Councilman Withhelder.
I mean, we talked about roadblocks, and we're hearing about some potential roadblocks, and they may be valid, but they may not be valid. We need to start, and I think we need to get staff looking at what the potential obstacles are and overcome them. And I personally have a distinction between something that the city does to benefit youth without a fee, as opposed to, although incredibly valuable part of the community and a very functioning part of the community, in fact, the part of the lifeblood of the community is the Virgin Valley artist community, the theater community, all of these things. But I can make a distinction in my mind, at least, between trying to help youth and people who are doing things that they enjoy as adults. And I can separate that myself. Maybe nobody else can, and that's fine, but I can. And I don't want to see roadblocks. I don't want to see why we can't do it. I'd like to see why we can do it and how we can do it and how we can do it as soon as possible. And I think we can get there. I don't see this as a monumental effort, but I do see it as a critical need and a critical piece of this community eventually. So I want to get going.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Withhelder.
Thank you, Your Honor. From my personal business, I represent a landlord in town who shall remain anonymous that may have a facility that might be workable and may be workable at very, very, very modest rate.
I'll give you my card.
I have your card, I know how to get you. And I will take the liberty of contacting him tomorrow and see what his thoughts or ideas might be, and if even that's remotely approachable, I will approach him with it and get back to you ASAP. And unfortunately, that's not going to solve our problems tonight, but thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Mayor, may I make one more statement?
Certainly.
Why the library? Because it's central. The kids can get to it. Why the roller skating rink? I'm not going to say whether their business plan was right or wasn't right. One of the main problems in the kids were always complaining about they couldn't get to it. They had to find a car, they had to find a ride in order to get to it. We have to find a place that they can walk to. And safely. You know, I still remember the one kid we lost on the freeway. We ran across the freeway, didn't make it. So, that's why the library, that's why this area is so important, trying something down here.
Thank you, Pastor Lee. Councilman Robson.
That's an outstanding point. I mean, having a facility that's not accessible is not functional. It doesn't work. You have to have a facility that your target market can access. And virtually anybody can get from any part of the town down to the rec center via bicycle, pedestrian, without risking life or limb. It's a long way out in West Mesquite or West Pioneer Boulevard. So I agree the location is a critical piece. And I also want to these things are not mutually exclusive. Just because we offer something in the rec center doesn't mean the youth center has to offer the same thing. It may offer it at different hours. It may offer something that's complementary to that. One does not mutually exclude the other one. They may complement it more than exclude it, and you may offer something that is completely unique and to the youth. So I think it's a great idea, and I think we just need to move.
Thank you, Councilman. I think we're all in agreement that we need to get something going.
Thank you.
So if there's no further questions or comments, Councilman Hafen.
Would you like that in the form of a motion?
Hang on one second. I want to make sure there's no further comments from anybody. Ms. Hunt, the light is on.
Thank you, Mayor,
Okay.
Council. If you can do it in the form of a motion giving staff direction, and if you can give some specific direction so we know where we're going. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilman Hafen.
Mayor, I move that we direct staff to first get with Pastor Lee to overcome the insurance issues, the requirements there, draft a lease agreement, and at this point I'm of the opinion that we don't need to put a dollar amount in there. We can negotiate that later and decide. I agree, concur with Councilman Rapson, but I would like to see that this thing rolls forward tonight, starting tonight, that staff is of the understanding that we wanted these simple roadblocks that we've talked about tonight, that they're addressed, and we have constant communication with Mr. Lee so we can, we're done with the talk and we're going to have some action, and we're going to start bringing some documentation so this thing can happen, because I believe that Dennis has done his homework. He's got community support, he's got our support, and let's get it done. That's my motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Seeing no need for discussion, we'll go ahead and ask for a vote. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.